I've got huge updates for you guys around the XRP spot ETF applications. The CBOE has entered the game and they're ready to list. I'll tell you what this means for approval. And Ripple's CEO, it seems like he's going to be part of Trump's crypto advisory council. And Mike Novogratz, a big-time XRP bear, has turned bullish. I'll share what he had to say. And the state of Utah has passed a Bitcoin reserve bill. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, I want to share some details around the DXY, the dollar currency index. Many of you know there's an inverse correlation between risk assets and the DXY. Typically, when the DXY is breaking down, that's very good for the stock market and crypto. However, since the election and Trump got elected, we've seen the DXY pump along with risk assets. And this has been an outlier. And Raoul Pal, macro investor, kind of gave the breakdown that the reason it has been pumping is there's a bit of currency wars happening between the US and China and other countries. And that's kind of feeding a bit of the tariff war discussions and bringing people to the table. So that's what's been going on. It's been an outlier, what we saw in Q4. But the DXY, based on the chart analysis, is ready to break down, and many different traders and analysts are recognizing this. Here, Crypto Wizard said, "It's a trap. Will you take the cheese?" Each bull run played out the exact same way. DXY may have set a trap. If it has, the next rally is going to take place in Bitcoin and altcoins. Patience pays. So, as we talked about yesterday, guys, you got to be very patient. We are in a very heavy cool down phase, but the bull market has not been invalidated. And the macro factors such as the DXY and global liquidity on the rise is very good and pointing to the rally continuing. Now, Bob Lucas, who's a great analyst, reshared a chart he had published on January 7th, a Bitcoin chart, and he said day 38 of the Bitcoin cycle. Still think end of February, around February 20th to the 25th, Bitcoin can bottom and resume the bull trend. Question is, can it hold the range until then? He says the next visit over $106,000 is likely the news cycle and won't look back. So he's talking about the phases, right? Within the macro bull market, there are different phases. So we pretty much wrapped up a phase at the end of Q4 2024. We've been in a cool down, and then we're waiting for the next phase, which usually is that late February into April, and then its sell-in may go away. And we know the stock market and crypto is correlated. They're both correlated to global liquidity. So we got to be patient here as both find their bottoms, and then they will continue the next phase up. So his chart shows Bitcoin consolidating here for a good amount of time before it starts breaking upwards. And of course, the market does not move outside of Bitcoin. I've been telling you guys this from day one. Bitcoin leads the market. When Bitcoin's going, the liquidity flows from Bitcoin down to the altcoins. And then when Bitcoin is crashing, the altcoins bleed out. This is how it is. But once you understand these principles of the market, and don't get me wrong, they can change over time, but nothing has changed from that setup. You know how to plan. You know how to put together a strategy. And I've told you guys, if the prices bother you, don't look at your portfolio. Step away from it. I haven't looked at my portfolio in like a week because the prices have been down. I have a general idea where it's at, but I'm not looking at it every day because there's no point. I want to maintain my mental health and be focused on the charts and the data, not, oh no, my portfolio is down 10, 15% or 20%. Now it's up significantly from the bear market bottom, obviously, but no one likes to see their portfolio down. So you got to be smart here, guys, and not look at these things. But the macro is setting up here, guys, for the next run up. We just got to be patient. Now, big news coming out of the state of Utah, guys. The Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Bill has officially passed the House in the state of Utah. The bill now moves on to the Senate. This is huge. We are seeing many states putting together a Bitcoin Reserve Bill, and the fact that Utah passed it in their House is a massive win for the industry, guys. I mean, just think about it. These states are in a race, in a competition here. And on the federal level, you have a Bitcoin Reserve Bill. Shout out to Dennis Porter of the Satoshi Action Fund. I had him on the podcast late last year. He's doing some amazing work. The man is flying all over the country, working with these states to put together the bills, introduce them, and now they're getting passed. I hope you guys see what is happening. And the price is down, and the majority of people are not paying attention. But they will once these things start to come to fruition, the bills go into effect, and much more. So patience, right? As smart, educated investors, we're watching what's happening. We're not getting shaked out by the volatility, and we're loading up where we can, buying the blood, dollar cost averaging in, and waiting to sell that euphoric top. Now, look at this news coming out of the Czech Republic. The Czech president signed a law removing the capital gains tax on Bitcoin after 3+ years of holding. Wow. And I've often told you guys about game theory. One country makes the move, one domino falls, and the others will follow and try to do, even better, outdo their competition, because everyone's trying to attract capital and jobs and, boost their economy and so forth. But I hope you see what's happening here, guys, globally. The move towards crypto, embracing it, putting legislation in place, allowing companies to invest, allowing people to invest. It's amazing what's happening. Now, moving ahead, Gemini, the crypto exchange backed by the Winklevoss twins, they are considering an IPO as soon as this year. So what happened in 2021, guys? Coinbase did an IPO. You're going to see a lot of crypto firms do an IPO this year. You could see Circle do something, Ripple, Gemini, obviously. So this is very bullish. But what we want to pay attention to, guys, and my friend Caleb Frenzen, who I've had on the podcast, tweeted out the following about this news. He says, this will mark the cycle top within 3 months after it gets listed. So these are the things that we see around the top of the cycles. And I told you guys, no one can call the exact top, but we want to call the top zone. A top zone could be, as Caleb says here, around 3 months or 4 months. So I will be sharing different statistics and even news items like this, which once again, it calls the top, right? So I will highlight these things to you guys, and that's why I'm telling you this right now. So keep this in the back of your mind. If you see crypto companies are starting to IPO, that is a red flag for profit taking. Not that it's a red flag that it's bad for crypto, just that markets move in cycles. It happened with the real estate market. It happened with the .com cycle. It happened in previous cycles, right? This is just the nature of market cycles. Nothing goes up forever. So we want to pay attention to things like this. All right, moving ahead, big XRP spot ETF news. The Cboe BZX Exchange files 19 B-4s to list and trade spot XRP ETFs for several issuers. Guys, the XRP Solana spot ETFs will be approved, I believe, this year with the pro-crypto administration, the new SEC chair that's coming in and much more. So all of these filers are making progress. They're doing what they have to do to get ready for that approval. So this is going to be exciting. So Cboe BZX Exchange filed 19 B-4s on behalf of Bitwise, 21 shares, and Canary Capital to list and trade a spot exchange traded product that tracks XRP, the fourth largest cryptocurrency by market cap. A 19 B-4 filing is the second part of a two-step process for proposing a crypto ETF to the US SEC. Once acknowledged by the SEC, the filing will be published in the Federal Register, initiating the agency's approval process. So guys, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And it's going to happen, and it could happen towards the top of the market. So this is where, once again, have your cash out plan, right? Because a lot of capital is going to come in, but these things can lead to the blow off top. So Bitwise first filed a registration for a spot XRP ETF in October, while 21 shares filed an S1 registration statement for an XRP ETF with the SEC in November. So guys, I think, like I said, we're going to see the XRP and Solana ETFs approved. You're going to have these basket ETFs or index ETFs where it will include Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana. You can get access to the top 4, top 5. So that's what's coming, folks. We've seen it with the stock market, right? So amazing stuff. And look at this, Mike Novogratz. Many of you know, billionaire Mike Novogratz, he heads up Galaxy Digital. He's been investing in crypto for a very long time. He's been very bearish about XRP over the years. All of a sudden, he's changing his tune. He's become a bull. Let me play the clip for you.
But I was wrong. I was wrong in that I thought lots of these ecosystems would go away. And they didn't. And I have a very different view on this now. Like, it's the libertarian view. If people want to be part of the XRP army, let them. That's their decision. and XRP has a narrative, and they like it. It's in some ways, all of these ecosystems have a little bit of store of value in them. People are storing their value there.
So there you have it. This is from the Galaxy Digital podcast. They do their own internal podcast. So it was recently published. So amazing that you have one of the biggest naysayers capitulating, guys. Of course, because XRP's been running like crazy. It's funny, you see some of the biggest haters of XRP on YouTube, people who have trashed it for years, now are making content about it. It's so funny. But remember those who were all along telling you about XRP, giving you the facts, not feelings or emotions or FUD, just facts about what's happening. And, I've been on record, guys. I hold XRP. I've been giving you the facts over the years. So hope you appreciate that. And XRP, I think, is going to do really well this cycle. You got the ETFs, you got the narratives, and much more. It's incredible. Now, moving ahead, we got reports that Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse has reportedly been named a top contender for a key role on President Donald Trump's U.S. Crypto Advisory Council. So this makes sense. Ripple's one of the largest crypto companies in the United States. They fought the SEC. They obviously have been donating politically going back to the election. Remember, Ripple, Coinbase, A16Z were some of the biggest donors to the Fair Shake PAC and all these things. So Ripple's, of course, going to get a seat, and the Trump administration is going to pay attention to them because they were a big influencer in the election along with other crypto companies. But this would be really good. I think it's important to have multiple voices at the table and from the industry, I should say, because you need the exchange partner point of view. You need a big company like Ripple, which is about to IPO. You need A16Z, an investment firm. You need all these other folks. So this is good news. And it's going to bode well for adoption and as well as legislation getting crafted correctly, right? Because we want the government to pass legislation, but it needs to be balanced. It needs to protect consumers, but not kill innovation. It needs to let innovation flourish and provide clear rules for the road. All right, guys, quick word from our sponsor, and that is Propy. Propy is bringing real estate on chain. I'm a big fan of this project. I hold a Propy token. I invested in this project since back in 2018 or 2019, around then. And I saw Propy as being the leader, being ahead of the curve in bringing real estate on chain. They allow you to buy and sell your property on chain using blockchain technology and to conduct your sales transactions and buying transactions in cryptocurrency. And they're doing a lot, guys. They've been around since 2017. They've facilitated over 4 billion in transactions. They provide licensed title and escrow services, and their crypto escrow service is with Coinbase. So they're working with trusted institutions. They're putting deeds on chain. It's pretty amazing. So this is why I am so bullish on this project, and I selected them to be a sponsor. Notice, guys, I only work with sponsors that I trust and I use. So I don't bring things to you guys that I don't use and I don't know of. But Propy, very bullish. I've had the CEO, Natalia Karyaneva, on the show many times to talk about Propy and all the great things they're doing, even with real estate NFTs and much more. It's incredible, guys. We've talked a lot on this podcast about real estate getting tokenized and how everything will run in the blockchain. Well, real estate's going to be a part of that. And Propy is a leader here. And as mentioned, they have a token, the Pro token, PRO. So if you'd like to learn more about Propy, go to propy.com. Link will be in the description. All right, guys, we got more ETF news. So the SEC has acknowledged Grayscale's Solana 19B-4, so the Solana spot ETF, and they've also asked for public comments on Grayscale's Litecoin ETF. So things are moving ahead here. The folks at Bloomberg are saying that they think Litecoin will be the next spot ETF that's approved. Now, we'll have to wait and see. Litecoin obviously is very much like Bitcoin because it uses proof of work, similar setup, so there might be an easier path for Litecoin. And given that it's been around for so long, I mean, Litecoin's one of the OG coins, right? Versus, let's say, Solana and XRP, which I do think will get approved, but they're a bit more complicated because many of those tokens are listed in lawsuits, right? Solana and the Coinbase and other exchange lawsuits. Obviously, the SEC Ripple lawsuit is still going on, but I expect that to wrap up. So Litecoin may have an easier path. So I think I agree with James Seyfert of Bloomberg that this is the case, but The SEC actively engaging. They got a crypto task force. We should see new SEC Chair Paul Atkins coming in soon. So, guys, the future is bright. The SEC is very different. Scumbag regulator Gary Gensler is gone. So it's like I said earlier, it's not a matter of if, just when. Now, final news item here. Trump-backed World Liberty Financial aiming to form a strategic token reserve. So I reported to you guys earlier in the week that World Liberty Financial has been buying an insane amount of Ethereum. Just the other day, they bought 86,000 Ethereum. It's crazy, right? But they've been buying other tokens as well. So World Liberty Financial co-founder Chase Hero said on Thursday that the platform plans on creating a strategic reserve with the tokens it purchases, according to a report from Bloomberg. Now, what's interesting, the co-founder Hero and Donald Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., were both at the Ondo summit today in New York. And apparently World Liberty Financial bought $470,000 worth of Ondo Finance's token today. So this is interesting. And I've been reporting to you guys about Ondo and the great tokenization news we heard the other day. They're building that tokenization platform, even helping to facilitate the treasury bonds, I believe, to be tokenized on the XRP ledger. And I told you guys, do your research on this token. I'm not invested, but I'm going to be doing my research, and I'll let you guys know if I add it to my portfolio. But something is up here. So I'm definitely going to look harder into this project and see if I can add it to my portfolio. Now, I don't want to spread myself too thin, guys. I have a decent sized portfolio and I only have so much dry powder to execute. But look, maybe as the market's down right now, I can grab some Ondo tokens. I don't know. I'm not telling you to go buy it. I'm telling you to do your research and you make your decision if you want to invest in it. But this is very good news. Interesting that, the World Liberty Financial is looking to build a stockpile with all these different tokens. Now, Hero didn't say what the reserve would be used for or how big it would be. So we're not sure what they're going to do with this reserve, how it's going to work. Is this kind of like Trump's own crypto fund, right? It's kind of hard to understand what they're doing here, but we'll have to wait and see. And I'll try to get some folks, maybe Hero or Donald Trump Jr. and these guys, to come on the podcast to talk about it. But it's fascinating and it's interesting to see what they're buying. They have some Bitcoin, wrapped Bitcoin, I should say. They have Ethereum. Like I said, they've been buying a ton of that. They got Ondo Finance's token. So let's see what else they decide to buy, guys. And remember, this is a DeFi platform. So we'll see. Maybe they're getting these tokens to back as collateral for different lending loans. I don't know. I can only guesstimate at this point, but it's interesting, right? That this project backed by Trump is doing these things. Guys, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. And a great way you can support me in the podcast, guys, is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It's 100% free. It's on Substack. Also, grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. It's available on Amazon in paperback and digital. And if you like to learn more about cryptocurrency, check out my new course, mycryptocourse.com. It is a fully comprehensive course that covers everything about crypto from A to Z. Guys, the best part of this course, which no other course out there features, it includes expert commentary. I'm talking founders, CEOs, institutional investors, hedge funds, people who are building and investing in this asset class and industry. Hear from them as they explain the different aspects of crypto. It includes videos, downloadable materials, full text write-ups. It's a one-time fee for lifetime access. You can even share the access with your friends and family. I put a lot of work into this to make sure you guys get as much value out of it using my experience since I got into the market in 2016. So once again, if you'd like to learn more, go to mycryptocourse.com. Link will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.